Content creation takes a lot of time. Let's be quite honest and very straightforward and transparent. Every single piece of content will take you from 30 minutes to a couple hours to just simply get it done. What if you'd like to create 100 more? You do the numbers. It will take you a lot more effort, a lot more time to actually get it done. But is there a way to actually make this happen within a couple minutes where we're able to mass produce? And when I say mass produce, I mean literally mass produce, in which we're going to be releasing pieces of content such as 50, 100 pieces in a couple minutes and a couple clicks. Is that doable? Well, I found a way and I'm going to teach it to you. Hello, my name is Hussein Ati. I'm a CEO, entrepreneur, educator, and a content creator. And in this current course, I will be sharing with you some insider tips and tactics that I use within our businesses to help elevate our content creation and social media marketing efforts, taking it to a whole different level in which we're going to be combining the power of Canva and ChatGPT to come up with a protocol that will help us mass produce content, whether for Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. You will be able to create multiple pieces of content which are unique, special, maintaining consistency, saving you time, saving you effort, saving you the whole hassle of trying to figure out how to reiterate the process. All of that we're going to be covering in this current course. So do not waste time. You definitely need this. Your project for the course revolves around using ChatGPT and Canva to mass produce various pieces of content, following which you will be sharing it with the rest of the community for feedback and to draw some inspiration from, whether for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. It's up to you. You're going to create a piece of content, then mass produce it in various iterations and formats and sharing it with the rest of the community for feedback. So in this current lesson, we are going to kick things off by exploring, first of all, Canva. What is Canva? Now, if you are a pro that you have most probably you've experienced the interaction with Canva before, but if you are someone who's quite new to content creation or digital marketing, this is an essential lecture to have to help you understand and build upon as we transition to application in terms of content creation. So this lecture is quite essential, and I'm going to walk you through the layout of Canva to have an idea where to use it, how to use it, and what is the purpose of using it. So now we do have the website of Canva. Just simply go to canva.com, and this is the main home page. If you see at the top menu bar, you have the different applications for Canva based on category, such as the key highlights that it could help you with for visual documents, videos, print on demand, marketing, for example, materials, posters, cards. Think about it as the visual aspect of your business or your marketing efforts, the aesthetics, the graphic design, the things that you do to help you market your business, whether it's through social media, through posts, videos. You need to do some visual editing, right? The visual part. And this is where Canva quite helps you out. You can use stuff related to education. You do have other supplementary resources from Canva that you could use once you get into more detailed or more hands-on applications for Canva, such as logo design, banner design, collage, and posters. So these are a bit more advanced, but we need to just simply go through the generic layout of Canva at this current point to have an idea how we're going to be using it. So on this current homepage, you do have just simply general um, suggestions from Canva based on things that you might like: Instagram posts, story videos, TikTok videos, presentations, resumes, documents. So these are the visual aspects that you could use as part of your efforts, right? Then take a look at the top part over here. You do have the create design part. When you click on the create design part, you do have a search bar. And in this search bar, this is where we're going to be typing in what we need to find from Canva to use it as part of our marketing content creation efforts. And if you take a look at the suggested tab, it will suggest for you the key elements which have been used by similar users. For example, you get posters, you get Instagram posts, you got TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, you got resumes, documents. So these are the materials that we are going to be using in order to drive our content generation effort through Canva. So, for example, just for the sake of demonstration purposes, to help you understand how we go about Canva, I'm going to just simply click create a design, and I'm going to go for Instagram, and it will have all the items related to Instagram pop out. Instagram post portrait, in addition to the dimensions, the square dimensions, video, pictures, reels, story related to Instagram. So let's go for a post, and I'm going to click on the Instagram post, and it's going to load the designer's page. So here you do have a blank Canva in order to map our designs. Now we're going to explore some additional elements related to Canva on the left bar over here. So here you do have the general design templates that you could pick from. You do have elements that you could add, such as frames, arrows, lines, circles, graphics, shapes. Then you have text to add, your branding of your a company. For example, you could add your logos, your colors to be imported onto your Canva, any uploads, drawing, any projects that you have that you'd like to extract. So let's say, for again, demonstrative purposes, we're going to pick just simply a very basic template. Let's go for this current template. Here we go. Now, this template is going to be displayed over here where I'm able to edit the colors, and then I'm able to edit various elements of the post that I have in addition to the text. And you could add your branding or your social media profile over here by clicking at your connector to your profile. Like I've mentioned, this lecture is quite brief, just simply to help you understand how to go about Canva if you have no idea how to use it. So let's try to change different templates. Here we go, replace the current templates. So as you can see, by just simply clicking, you are able to map from one template to the other. And if I would like to add some elements, for example, images, photos, or some graphics, I'm going to add a graphic over here. I'm going to click see all, and then I'm going to add, let's say, the current image over here, and I'm going to take it all the way to the back end. So these are some tactics related to Canva that you will be finding quite handy or quite helpful as you create designs or as you tinker with Canva. Now, this whole course is not dependent on or not is not going into the details of using Canva, how to use the graphics, how to use the featured elements, how to use the gradients. This is subject for a different course. We're going to be tackling that for at a later stage. Feel free to follow the profile if you're interested in learning how to use Canva with more details. But at this current stage, it's sufficient to know that we're going to use Canva to help create the design elements for our marketing efforts through various applications, whether Instagram posts, whether TikTok posts, where we incorporate texts, elements of graphics, visuals, images, photos that will help us um, combine them in a way to take our marketing efforts to different levels. Now, just before we transition to the second lecture where we talk about ChatGPT, how we could use it, this is an essential part that you might be finding helpful. It's the addition of photos. So I'm going to click on the photos to help me add some visuals that I need to incorporate. Let's say I don't like the current photo that we have, and I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete this. And then once I extract or add a photo, I'm able to just simply copy it, paste it, move it to my post, and just edit it the way I like it. These are essential elements that you need to be familiar with within Canva to help you transition smoothly in this current course. Like I've mentioned, this lecture is just simply to demonstrate for new Canva users how to go about Canva. And if you're looking forward to learn more about Canva, how to go in it with further more details, way more complicated details, feel free to follow the profile as we are planning to go about a course dedicated to Canva in terms of how to use it from A to Z at a later stage. Now, at this current lecture, we are going to
wrap it up in terms of introducing Canva and how to use Canva. In the second lecture, we are going to take a look at ChatGPT and how we're going to be using ChatGPT to serve the purpose of this current course, which is the mass or bulk content creation. So, welcome back. So, in the previous lecture, we have learned about Canva, and this is the visual end of our marketing effort for the sake of this current course purpose, where we are going to combine the graphical end from Canva through the back end power of artificial intelligence through ChatGPT. So, if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it's an NLP language based model of artificial intelligence, which utilizes the human linguistics to actually come up with solutions as we give it some input. And once you go to chat.openai.com to actually browse ChatGPT, this is the home page. And on the front page, you do have the prompt window. We do have a dedicated course on prompt engineering. If you are quite a new joiner and you have no idea how to go about Chat GPT, you're most welcome to explore that. But at this current stage, I'm going to simply demonstrate for you how to go about Chat GPT briefly because it's essential to proceed with the current course. So in order for us to engage with Chat GPT, we do have to be quite specific with our prompts and with our goals, with our intent and with our purpose in order to get the best outcome. Now, here's a pro tip. If you are a specialist within any of the social media platforms, for example, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you are familiar with the character limits of every single post. Is it 100 characters, 30 characters? So that piece of information is essential as you design your prompt. Now, just to make sure that all of the content that we're able to generate is easily transferable from one platform to the other, I'm going to impose some constraints, some priming in order to get the best output the from ChatGPT to help us easily bulk create and mass produce content with minimal reviews, with minimal interference from our side, and just simply automate the entire process. So, first of all, when we are dealing with ChatGPT, we need to have action verbs as part of the prompt, such as create, such as make, such as revise. So, let me give you a brief demonstration. Let's say create a post on Instagram related to motivational quotes. Take a look at this. Now, if you notice, it will pop the first solution related to the command that I gave it. Embrace each day with positivity and purpose. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Let these words inspire you to chase your dreams. So it's following the um, technical end of Instagram, the title, the hashtags, a bit of a caption, if you do have an image. Now, if this suits you, and I'm going to tell it to give me 10 more, give me 10 more. Now, I'm walking you through the bulk generation process one step at a time to help you get the hands on the procedure that you need to follow. Now, take a look at the results over here. It gave me 10 posts that I could use, but I don't like the whole emojis part, and I'm going to tell it remove the emojis. So it's going to fix it up. So you have to understand at this current point, it's about back and forth communication with ChatGPT in order to get the best desired output that meets your requirements. So this example was basically for Instagram to create a post. How about if we say create a Facebook post about fitness? This is very brief prompt, very generic. It's not specific. But if I would like to make it specific, I'm going to add some extra constraints. Create a Facebook post about fitness, making sure it is in bold letters and the character limit is 30 characters, for example. Now take a look at this. Get fit today, hashtag fitness goals. It did not give me what I requested to, so I'm going to ask it again. How about we'll make it 100 characters? Make it 100 characters. Now it still got stuck with that one. I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to remove the limit. I'm going to ask it to fix it. The post is too short. Make sure it is longer than that. So I was going to fix it up and add some extra details based on the input that I give it. Achieve your fitness goals with us. Added some emojis. Join our community today and start your journey to a healthier, stronger you. Let's crush those fitness goals together. And added some relevant hashtags. And I put it in bold characters because I gave it that command to make it pop. So you get the idea at this current point, quite briefly, how to engage with ChatGPT based on your own content creation scheme. If you are active on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, whether you are posting static posts, images, or you are creating short videos, we are going to utilize ChatGPT to give us those outputs based on our prompts and inputs to actually combine it with Canva to mass produce, bulk create posts and short videos, short form videos with masses. So, since we have concluded the briefings about the two tools that we need, the Canva tool and ChatGPT, now we are ready to actually see how could we apply the bulk content creation mechanism for various platforms through hands-on applications. Now, let's transition to that. So on this current lesson, I'm going to show you how could you create in bulk, in masses, content for your marketing effort, for your own profiles, whether Instagram posts, TikTok, Facebook. The whole logic that I'm going to be teaching you right now works. The technicalities that you learn will work for any platform to reduce your time consumption, to increase your productivity, to make sure you're able to create more content and to be able to release it in bulk, maintaining quality, maintaining consistency, and your branding. So, how do we go about this? In the sequence of lectures, I'm going to walk you through the applications for various platforms. And in this current lecture, I'm going to start off with Instagram. So, I'm going to head off to create a design. Let's go for Instagram post, for example. Let's go for an Instagram post portrait. Here we go. We click on that. Now, we do have different templates that we could use. Again, based on your genre or your niche, are you providing recipes for food? Are you creating motivational content? It's up to you. But let's take a look at a regular template or any other template that you feel like. Feel free to browse these templates. You can use them for your own applications as well. So let's apply this. Take a look at this current template over here. It has daily reminders, so which is quite helpful. Let's increase the size for this one a bit. Let's assume for demonstration purposes, you do have a motivational or inspirational Instagram um, account and you post on a daily reminders to motivate your audience, to inspire them. And this works for any um, genre that you're at. Here you do have follow me at. Here you can put on your own branding. We're going to add in our company expertise. Then we are going to change it. We don't like this. This is quite typical. We need to create this in a quite artistic way, captivating way, but we need to create it in bulk, like 10, 50 posts, because if we do it once, we don't want to do it over and over again. So how do we go about this? This is where things get quite interesting. Now let's change to ChatGPT. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT, create a list of 10 daily reminders to be part of my Instagram posts. Let's take a look at this. Now I'm taking a look at the output I'm getting from ChatGPT and it seems quite doable. It seems quite nice. Let's copy them. Here, Take a look at this. Now you might be wondering, what's the point of copying from ChatGPT? Now here's where things get interesting. I'm going to go from ChatGPT, go back to Canva, and now you need to concentrate on this. This is the technical part behind the scenes that connects Canva and ChatGPT. So what I'm going to go to now is apps. You should be heading over here to this part, apps. Then click on it. Now, when you click on apps, you're going to type bulk create. Now, once you click on bulk create, you're going to select this first option. Then I'm going to click on bulk create. You do have two options over here. Either you upload data, CSV, which is a bit more advanced for later discussion, or you go for the enter data manually. Let's click on enter data manually. This will show me like an Excel sheet style that would help me connect the content that I've gotten from ChatGPT to my posts. How does that work? Every single column includes data. So let's say I would like to change one element of my post, which is this over here, right? I would like to change this. What I'm going to say is delete this. Here we go. And I'm going to call it reminder. This is the part that I would like to change. Okay. I'm going to enter data manually. I don't need emails. It's useless for me right now. And I'm going to call this the same name that I put on my post, reminder. Then paste whatever you have gotten from ChatGPT. Here we go. It includes all of them. You can just simply click on it to make sure everything's quite in line. Keeping in mind, that's why I told you at the beginning of the lecture, you need to be familiar with the platform that you're using in terms of the character limits to make sure that when you are creating the content in bulk, you're not cutting off any parts from the words due to character limits. So here we go. Click done. Now we do have the data that we have collected over here, which is popping on our display. And you can see the dots, the sequence of the generation. Now, how could I now connect the data that I've gotten from ChatGPT, paste it on Canva to be transferred to my posts and get repeated over and over again? Now, see that part, what I simply labeled as the same name as my data input? I'm going to right click right now. And I'm going to go for connect data. This is a new one. This new window over here is a new one. Connect your data. So you click on it. The same field, which I've inputted from ChatGPT, is going to be popping over here. Click on it right now. Reminder. Adjust it a bit such that it looks nice. It minimizes the effort that you do. And you could just simply reduce the font size before you go about the generation purposes. Here we go. Now, for demonstration purposes, this looks okay. Now, you are going to go to over here, continue. You click on continue. It will list everything that you have gotten from ChatGPT as part of that list. Now, click on generate designs, 10 designs. Now look what happens. Now when you click on generate 10 designs, take a look at this. This is the first one. This is the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. All of them now, they have been populated in bulk, in mass, by a couple clicks. Now, let's say I need to do some adjustments. You do have two options. Either you go and start editing every single one of them by itself, or you just simply go backwards to the main one and you tinker with it. Let's say I'm going to change the font size. Here we go. Let me go for a different font. This is quite too large. How about something quite compact? How about this, for example? Let's go for the popular ones. Here we go. I think this one is okay, but you can see the size is quite large. So I'm going to go for something which is more reader friendly, 45, for example. And how about we change the color? Let's go for something in blue, following my branding colors. Here we go. And now we're going to generate. Let's take a look at this. Notice what happened now. We updated every single one of them. Now, you do have the option as well to, once you populate the content the way you like it, if you would like to go for the manual option, you can just simply go for elements. You could go for photos, right? And then you're able to add whatever photo that you would like to add for your own preference. Let's go for motivational. Motivation, here we go. And you can just simply use it. Here we go. And then once you're able to get that photo at every single one of these posts, do not forget to position them all the way backwards. Here we go. You could change the color as well. But if you notice, this consumes also time when we are going to produce, mass produce, and edit every single one of these posts that we were able to generate in bulk. Is there a way to go about this? Well, let me tell you something. Yes, there is. I will teach you in the advanced tactics lecture of the course where we are able to actually produce our content fully automatically from scratch and automate the entire process, where we are able to get the output that we wanted. We're able to make sure that every single one of them is unique rather than repetitive, such that you have content which is unique, special, maintains your profile's requirements, not repetitive. But keeping in mind, this works only for image posts and static posts. For videos, unfortunately, it doesn't have that feature of completely flipping to a whole new video. But if you're able to strategically use a video that you could duplicate over and over again, yet maintaining the consistency of the content, this is a very powerful tool that you could use. So make sure that you watch and go through the upcoming lectures all the way till you get to the advanced tactic, content variation strategy, to help you combine everything that you're going to learn to not just simply automate the content creation process, but to actually making it quite unique. Now I'm going to walk you through another example for Instagram posts that will help you get some inspiration from. Let's go for the designs, and we're going to start off with something which is completely new. Here we go. If we go for this template, let's go for motivational. Many of the current students in the course and our audience, we would have similar pages or similar profiles where they share daily recipes or daily motivational quotes. Let's use something which is quite uh, prominent and present within the practice. Here you go. This is a great one that you could use. This is a daily reminder. If you follow such similar templates, you would find this tool to be very helpful. Take a look at this. Now, what I'm going to do over here, this is a text, right? So what we are going to do over here, we are going to take it to a whole new level. We are going to take this text, and I'm going to take it to ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask it to create similar Instagram content to this. Here we go. See what's happening over here? It's giving me something similar that I could use. And I'm going to say remove the hashtags and emojis. Now, the whole purpose of this activity is for you to get some inspiration from, to get to understand the power and the limitations of such tools. Now, I'm going to go backwards over here and I'm going to change this, right? I'm going to say this is my reminder. Reminder. Now, I'm going to go to the applications, bulk create, enter data manually, paste it, done, right click, connect data, reminders. Now, would you like to add something extra? Let's see. How about some animations? Animate. And let's go for one of the powerful ones, the typewriter, for example. And let's see how would this look like and generate 10 designs. Here we go. Look at this now. So what do you notice? Every single one of them is a new one, but it doesn't fit quite properly. So I'm going to go back, tinker with this a bit, and I'm going to reduce the size. Here we go. Make sure it's aligned right here and generate again. Okay, we're getting there. One more run. Let's increase the size of the paper. Here we go. And let's take this part over here and we put this part over here and let's generate. Look now at the final result. Excellent. It looks great. And you're able to actually add some more visuals or tinker with it to make it meet your own requirements. I'm going to put it for the final attempt over here and generate. It looks way better. Yes, we're getting somewhere. Now, if you click on the play button, look what happens now. Here we go. See this? So this is a great bypass where you are able to actually use the animations to convert the static images into actual videos and then bulk create them. This is an advanced pro tip and I hope that you find it quite helpful. Like I've mentioned, I'm teaching you the practice that takes calories and it's quite endless and boundless. You can get as creative as you want. Now, at this current lecture, you have learned how to convert Instagram posts, static images, and produce them in bulk to ease the process of content creation and content marketing. At the same time, how to include some animations to help you convert some of these static images into some videos that you could use. Then you could just simply click share over here. And if you have your Instagram profile quite linked, you're able to click on Instagram, right? You're either able to upload them immediately or schedule posts from your desktop. Then you click continue. Now convert them to your business account or connect your business account. And guess what? You are able to actually take all of these that you have created, move them, and schedule them to your Instagram profile with a couple clicks, such that you are getting unique and special content and specific schedule every single day with a couple clicks. So I have seen how this works for where we used Instagram for demonstration purposes. Like I've mentioned, during the context of the current course, I'll be providing you with various examples to draw some inspiration from, especially towards the final lectures of the course, where I'm going to be sharing with you different applications, different examples that you are able to draw some inspiration from. Maybe you're mentally struggling with the idea, how could I use this? But as you see those examples, you see those practices, you're able to draw some inspiration from, and you have that aha eureka moment where you're able to connect the dots and you're able to apply it to your own practice. Now let's transition to another case where we apply the bulk creation tactics for our content generation purposes. Welcome back. So in this current lesson, we are going to use the techniques I'm teaching you about bulk content creation using Canva and ChatGPT for a Facebook application. And specifically, we are going to create a Facebook campaign, an actual ad campaign. This applies to a post as well, but obviously posts are quite very straightforward. For campaign purposes, a Facebook ad would actually help you get some extra inspiration for the variations that you could use these techniques for. So let's go for a business-based application. Here we go. I just selected this random template. I'm going to delete this part over here, basic graphic editing. I'm going to put some colors that matches my preferences. And then let's delete this part. Keep the learn more option. Seems okay, helpful. Change it to bold. Here we go. And increase the size over here a bit. Now, I would like to change this part, the text over here, to have multiple variations. Instead of doing this manually over and over again, I'm going to do this once, and I'm going to apply the bulk creation tactic, combining ChatGPT and Canva in order to generate, let's say, 10 posts, which are different from each other, and that they serve as a creative that I could use within my marketing campaign through Facebook. So I'm going to shift to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, create similar text for my Facebook campaign. Here we go. So I created a similar text for my Facebook campaign, but just simply one text and didn't get the results that I wanted. Create 10 of those lines. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to modify this to remove the hashtags and to remove the emojis and to use the actual core of the text in my ad creative. Remove the hashtags and emojis. Here we go. Now, as you can see, that all of them, they look quite too long. We need to keep this in mind. Since we're creating an ad campaign, it should be quite catchy, quite brief. So make it shorter. Make each one of them shorter and brief. So as we can see in this demonstration, I'm showing you how I'm communicating with ChatGPT to fine-tune the creative that I'm going to be using. Take a look at the difference right now between this and this, right? This serves the purpose. So I'm going to copy this right now. Here we go. Shift back to Canva. Then I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to call it add, for example. Then go to apps, bulk create. That's the first thing that pops out. Enter data manually. Delete this column over here. Let's call this add. And then paste. Done. Link. Connect data to ads. And then continue. Now let's see how does that look like. Generate the 10 designs. Okay, take a look at this. Now, if you notice, it's populating the designs the way I would like it to be, but there are some creative issues. So I'm going to go back right now and I'm going to reduce the size a bit. How about if I take this all the way to the bottom? Keeping in mind, when you are editing, after the bulk creation, edit the first one only, then regenerate the entire thing, just to make sure that you're not wasting time in the process. The whole purpose of this activity is to minimize time and increase productivity, right? So now let's generate again. Here we go. Take a look at this. Way better. See the difference? So we are able to actually create different versions of the creatives, change the texts, change elements. This is the basic application, by the way. You could go way more in terms of how you could combine the various prompts you are getting. How could you change or link multiple parameters on the same post and create variations of the creatives by having multiple columns in the bulk create option. Like I've mentioned, I will teach you as well in the advanced tactics lecture how we could actually change these images. So maybe I don't want to have this image over here. I would like to put something else, right? So this will give you more power in terms of the variations that you could apply this tactic for. You're able to change the text, you're able to change the actual backgrounds. That way, you could create 10, 50, 100 posts in a couple minutes. And guess what? Then you're able to just simply click share, take your Facebook page, and you could schedule them, whether as posts or as ad creatives. So I hope this gives you some inspiration in terms of the power of the tactics I'm teaching you in terms of your social marketing efforts, for content creation efforts, how you could use them for your own profile, for your own following, and how you could use them for your own marketing campaigns as well. And in this current example, we've applied it to Facebook. In this current lesson, we are going to apply the bulk creation tactics for Pinterest to create pins. And by the way, if you combine these tactics with Pinterest in a proper way, you are able to scale your content creation massively. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Create. Let's go for pin. Pinterest. I'm going to go for this pixelation or this pixelation. This is the preferred option. Why? Because it gives you a bigger margin for the visuals. Let's click on this. Here we go. So this is basically a blank Canva based on the templates. If I would like to use some of the typical approaches on Pinterest, for example, daily quotes, motivational quotes, some interior design tips, for example, some fat loss tips, exercises. Let's go for something which is quite generic. How about this? Here we go. Take a look at this. The secret to a successful side hustle. This template would be helpful, but I would like to have something more, let's say, compatible, where I'm able to actually use a template as is without making it quite too complicated, and I alter the text. So here I'm going to either type in the search, or I'm going to keep on browsing till I find something which I would like to use as pins. Take a look at this. This is quite helpful. Here you go. Now, this template, like I mentioned at the back, serves as a great pin because if you see the profiles on pin interests, many of them, they just simply have the same background and they're able to change the text, and that's mainly it, right? But if you would like to change the background as well, I'm going to teach you how to do that in the dedicated advanced tactics section. But I'm going to show you how could you use just simply a basic layout to come up with very powerful pins. And here's one of them. If I click over here, here it says, believe in yourself and embrace limitless possibilities that lie ahead. Now, you could add extra visuals to this. Let's go to elements. If I would like to add something related to graphics, how about we click on graphics? Then let's see which graphic fits our purposes. Magic recommendations. Let's see if we have something which is quite usable. Here we go. How about this? And you put this over here. And we're able to go for a couple shapes. How about campfire shapes? Then we put this over here. So if you do notice, you are able to just simply prepare your initial layout or your initial pin the way that you would like it to be before you mass produce it. So I wanted to just simply highlight this for you as you create your pins or your posts. Play with the initial template before you go for the mass production. Now I'd like to tinker with this text. So I'm going to use this text over here, and then I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to tell it, create pins for Pinterest using this as an inspiration, and make sure the character limits are aligned or are close or are close in number. Why did I specify this? Because when you're creating in bulk, sometimes ChatGPT will just simply release extra content that once you bulk generate, it might be trimmed down automatically and it might not look proper. What I'm trying to teach you here is to do it right, do it correctly, maintaining quality, and do it quickly. So let's go up, take a look at this. Here we go. So here are some ideas for pins. Now it gave me an image that I could use, like an idea for the images that I could use to help me with my pin creation process. Like this pin 1, here's an image, pin 2, here's an image. Well, these I could use them in the advanced tactics lecture, like I'm going to explain to you later within the course, but I don't need this at this current point. I need these texts. So I'm going to say, remove the image ideas and emojis and hashtags, and just keep the lines, the actual content lines, of course. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Everything seems quite aligned. I got 5 posts, and you could go all the way to 50 posts, like I mentioned, even more. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to call it pin, just for my own reference to keep track of the things I'm doing on my screen. Then I'm going to apps, bulk create. Here we go. Enter data manually. Delete this column unnecessarily. I'm going to call it pin. And then paste. And done. Now, right click. Connect data to pins and continue. Now, from the first site, it might not fit properly over here, but I'm going to simulate this and iterate the process. Generate designs. Here we go. Look at this. We're getting somewhere, right? I can notice that the problem lies in the font itself. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to reduce the font size. Then I'm going to alter the font type. Here we go. You can move it up a bit just to make sure you give yourself some space, or you could increase the size of the borders over here to give you some actual room to populate your layout. Let's see this. Here we go. There we go. We're getting there, right? Now we're able to tinker with this on the main pin or the main template. Then once we are done, you click share, then you're able to find your pin profile, and then you're able to actually link and edit your Pinterest profile straight from Canva and schedule the release of those pins automatically. So if you got 50 of those, you're able to mass release 50 of those. And this template serves a great purpose because it's a basic template. You could add your own branding, your own profile elements, such as your hashtags, your connectors, and then you play with the text. I've seen many profiles that follow the same approach where they just simply have a basic layout like this, and the whole content is just simply a variation of the texts, where they simply post different texts over and over again using different ideas, using different content to help you get something out of it, whether a piece of information or a code or an inspiration. And this works perfectly for pins, like we have mentioned, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. And you could just experiment with different approaches to do it, and you could elevate in terms of your application. So we have seen how we could use at this current stage the bulk creation tactics for Pinterest or for creating pins, where we just simply take one of the templates for the pins, and then we bulk create or content, but we create it in bulk. Once we are done, we're going to be sharing it, where you're going to be sharing with the your Pinterest profile. Once you click on the Pinterest profile, the same way you can see Instagram, we do have Pinterest as well. Then once you're able to do that, you're going to be populating the pins directly on your pin profile with ease. Welcome back. So we've learned how to create content variations in bulk for static posts on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and this applies to any other platform where you're able to create images as posts, flyers, infographics, following the same tactics that you have learned up to this current stage. Now we're going to transition to the short form videos, where we are going to use the bulk creation tactics to create or to mass produce short videos, whether for TikTok, YouTube's, Instagram Reels. It's up to you, but the strategy and the technique and the technicality is quite the same. So we're going to apply this first of all to TikTok. So we're going to go for TikTok. Here we go. TikTok video. Then I'm going to pick a template. How about this current template? Take a look at this template over here. For example, we could use, yeah, this works quite fine. Let me use something else, just quite more bubbly in the sense that I could use it and mass produce it easily. How about this autumn wish? Okay, so I'm going to remove 2023, keep it quite generic. And this is a video which works just 58 seconds. You can just simply click play, take a look at it. Yes, that will do. You could add audio as well as you please, but I'm going to show you how you could mass produce this as well. So now I'm going to copy this here. This is Autumn Wish. So let's make it specific to the month of autumn. Create content using this as an inspiration for a TikTok video post. Here we go. Now, obviously, it's giving me a script for the video. So a ChatGPT, sometimes it would do this. So we need to be more quite specific. So I'm going to reiterate the process. Use this to provide 10 different alternatives. Here we go. Now you have to go back and forth in terms of your communication with ChatGPT to get the optimal results. But obviously, the more experience you get, the better and the quicker you're going to get the results that you want. So I'm going to select this. Now I'm going to go back to Canva and I'm going to begin the mass production process. Bulk create. Here we go. Click enter. Then I'm going to enter data manually. Let's delete this column over here. Let's call it C for the content. Here we go. Done. Now I'm going to connect this text, connect data. Here we go. To this. And now let's click continue and let's click generate. Here we go. So now, as you notice, I do have different variations for my videos, but as you transition through the videos, you have to keep in mind that you need to populate them as separate files, because take a look at what happened over here. It played them back to back, right? So I have different videos back to back. This is the second option. Here we go. You play it. So you have to be careful when you are populating the videos. It will not show as the layout of a static image, like you scroll down and you get the different options. It will just simply populate them right after another. Why is this important? Because once you click share and you're going to export the files, or you're going to click download, for example, you have to click this button over here, download pages as separate files. Because if you don't click this button and you click download, it's going to download it completely as one complete video, which is about 9 minutes long. This is very, very important. It's a pro tip that you need to keep into consideration. So once you are done creating your videos, you are able to mass produce them into separate videos, separate shorts, separate files by clicking on the export, download pages as separate files. That way, when you are downloading them, you have every single video by itself instead of having it as one single video. So as you have noticed, it's quite easy, very straightforward to create different files, different posts, mass produce it with a couple clicks based on your genre. And this works quite best with motivational channels, with motivational videos, inspirational, even fitness tips, or some daily tips, quotes. You can just simply experiment with these to see what fits best. Let's try to apply different templates for you to get some inspiration from. I'm going to click this one over here. Take a look at this. Works great. And if you would like to take it further, you could click over here. You could just simply play with the effects. For example, add neon effects. Here we go. Look at this. So once you tinker with the main template, that main template will be regenerated for all of the other templates. You could have your profile over here as part of it. It's up to you to put the graphics or put the style that best meets your own profile requirements. Now, let's say I would like to animate this. Here we go. Let's click over here. It's written as a typewriter. Let's change the format. Yes, here we go. Promise of new tomorrow. Great. How about this? Excellent. How about this? Looks great. Now, let's try to play it from the beginning. Here we go. See the difference? So you get some inspiration. You're able to bulk create various options, and feel free to tinker with this as part of your project and share it with the rest of the community to get some feedback. So at this current stage, you have learned how to create different options or different versions of your initial posts such that you're maintaining quality, you have some variations, you're able to mass produce it easily, and you're able to export 10 to 20, 30, 50 videos with a couple clicks that would have taken you hours to do. So now let's apply what we have learned to YouTube Shorts. If I click on here and click on Shorts, YouTube Shorts. Now, keep in mind, every single platform has its own limitations and the duration. For example, once you import the template from Canva, it gives you 5 seconds. YouTube Shorts, they go from 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. So keep that in mind as you go about creating your content. Now, if I would like to go for a certain template based on a certain niche, for example, if you are in the technology niche, or if you are in the entertainment, or you are in the nutrition, you could find different options, different templates to help you with your own niche and mass produce content as well. How about let's go for business, again, to help you get some inspiration from. We are going to utilize one of those templates to help you understand where we're coming from. Here you go. Tips to manage your time. Let's see, how does this look like? So it's just a matter of a certain animation, a certain visual, and that's mainly it. Could I make it better? Of course I can. So here you could add in your website, or you can just simply write something else. Let's put something inspirational, master your time with us, for example. With us. And then I'm going to go over here to text, and I'm going to put the text for tip number 1. Of course, I'm not going to write anything or fill anything from my end. That's the whole purpose of this current course, to actually make it easier for you. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, create 20 tips for a YouTube short on time management, and make sure that you number them. Here we go. So we do have 20 tips over here, from 1 all the way to 20. Feel free to select as much as you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 1 to 10 just for the sake of demonstration, to help you understand how we go about this. And we're going to apply the same tactic to bulk create. Here we go. You click on bulk create, and then you're going to edit manually. I'm going to delete this over here. And some of you might be wondering, why do I keep deleting this column over here? Well, the more columns you have, it means we are linking certain elements of that. And this is another window of opportunity for you to customize your own templates. For example, I'm linking tip number one, this part only. However, you could link this part, you could link on another part, and that gives you an endless number of variations. Now, like I mentioned, for the advanced tactic lecture, I'm going to show you how to could actually change the background content, but this only works smoothly for static content, as in posts for Instagram, as in posts on TikTok, as in posts on your YouTube channel, which are image based only with a bit of animation, not actual full footage videos. That being said, I'm going to click connect the data over here to name. Now, before you start generating, you are going to make sure that the dimensions, the fonts, everything, the colors look fine with you. And again, like I mentioned, you could experiment with this before you go ahead and you populate it. So let's test this out. We're going to click continue, generate all of these tips. Now let's observe the output to see if it's working fine. Now, as we can see over here, we have our 10 videos, but it doesn't look that solid. It seems it needs a bit of modification. So I'm not going to take it as is. I'm going to go back to the initial template and let's change the font to about 40. And then once it goes to 40, it's quite too small. How about 60? And then I'm going to add some elements as well, just to simply help you see how am I able to draw some inspiration from various tactics. How about time? If I click on the search over here, I can see a watch. And how about this? Take a look at this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this image and to fill my current template and then take it all the way backwards, then move it slightly a bit. Here we go. And then position the image all the way at the back. Well, I need to delete this part and this part. Here we go. Let's remove this part as well. And here we go. So I'm able to actually improvise and try to add some elements from my side that might seem to work. Let's try to generate the output as well. We are going to go to bulk create again to the apps. You go to bulk create and let's see what we have. Continue and generate designs. Now let's compare the output that we have. Look at this right now. We're getting somewhere. We're able to get a better visual, but the text is quite blurry. It's not that smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a background to it, to the text, to make sure it's actually quite readable. So here we go. Let's put this a background over here. How about we animate? If we go for the typewriter option, that would look quite nice. Now let's experiment with this. Okay, it looks better. Still requires a bit of tweaking. What if we reduce the size a bit and we make it all the way to 40? I think that will do. Here we go, generating again. Here we go. So if you notice, you are getting results. So by simply modifying the initial templates, you are able to find certain outputs which align with the requirements. Now here you might have noticed that there are some missing parts. Take a look at this. For example, this part is missing, right? How about this part? Here we go. So just make sure that you double check as these are released and populated, because sometimes on Canva or ChatGPT, since it's mass produced, you might notice that there are some errors in the process. But once you export them, obviously, it's going to be quite rectified by default. But just simply for the sake of maintaining accuracy and consistency amongst your posts. Here we go. So this looks quite nice. Let's play it and see. Excellent. Not so bad, right? So by simply investing 1 minute or 2 minutes in a certain template, you design it the way you want it to look like. Add visuals, add images, elements, texts, and then by applying the tactic I've learned you of bulk creating and linking the content from ChatGPT back into Canva, you're able to generate multiple pieces of content on the spot. And this concludes our lesson on utilizing ChatGPT and Canva for generating shorts. Now, in this lesson, we're going to apply the short video form creation strategy, bulk creation strategy for Instagram Reels. Let's get to it. Let's go for Instagram, and we have Instagram Reels. Automatically, Canva will populate it based on the certain pixelation and the format for Instagram. So let's pick a template for something that we could use. Here we go. Take a look at this. Always, food is considered to be a very powerful genre on whatever platform it is. How about let's try to switch it to tip of the day, food recipes of the day. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. So I'm going to take it to a different level right now, just simply to help you visualize the applications and the options that you have. So I'm going to combine the editing skills from Canva in addition to ChatGPT amongst the bulk creation tactics to show you how I could create a powerful reel with a couple clicks after I finalize my initial template. So I'm going to edit the video over here. Let's change the format a bit and the intensity and the contrast in order for my text to pop. So I'm done with that part. I'm going to add an extra element of text over here. Here we go, a little bit of body text. Why? I'll show you how I'm going to combine both of these with ChatGPT prompts in order to get really customized outputs. So this is going to be recipe of the day, or the recipe name. Here we go. Recipe name. Now, some of you watching this current lecture, you might be inspired to utilize it in a way more effective fashion, or you're able to actually come up with your own application for this to take it to a whole new level. Okay, so this is the recipe name, and here this is the content of the recipe. Let's increase the size, and I'm going to add some effects to it. How about a good outline, some background, and for the background, we're going to keep it in a slightly different color. Here we go. How about this? Yes, this looks like foodie somehow. Then we are going to jump to ChatGPT, and I'm going to tell it to create 10 recipes with the name of the recipe, the name of the dish, and a brief description of the recipe steps, keeping in mind it should fit on an Instagram reel as a post. This is the power of prompt generation. Now, we do have a typo over here. Don't worry, it's going to get rectified by ChatGPT by default. Now, this is the power of prompt engineering. When you're able to craft powerful prompts, you're able to get powerful results. Now, what I'm going to do, notice what I've done over here. The content is combined, right? The title of the recipe and the steps. So if I'm going to copy paste all of these back into Canva, I'm not going to be able to deal with it quite easily. So what I'm going to say is create a table. This is the advanced feature, which is going to help you out. Create a table where one column is the recipe name and the other is the recipe steps. Look at this now. This is where the magic happens. Now, some of you might be surprised. Some of you might have their jaw drop. Some of you might get inspired to do something with this. But you'll see how powerful this could be, how effective it is in terms of saving you time and effort. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take this as it is. Here we go. Then jump back to Canva. Let's go about the bulk creation process. Bulk create. Here we go. Then enter data manually. Now, this is take a look at this. This is the recipe name. And then we have body of text. Okay, so I'm going to call this name. Keep it as is. Recipe. Now, let's populate this. Here you go. Look what happened over here. Because I broke it down on ChatGPT as tables, I was able to move it as is onto the tables within Canva. That way I could connect this table by itself. Let me show you how. I could connect this table by itself and this table by itself to different elements on Canva. Let's see how does that work. So I have the name and the recipe. I'm going to connect the recipe name to the name over here, and then I'm going to connect the body and title to recipe over here. Here you go. Let's see how does that work. Okay, so right click over here, connect data. So this will be connected to the name, and this will be connected to the recipe. Here we go, and let the magic happen. Continue, generate, and here we go. And voila. See what happens, what's happening over here? We are able to actually create videos for different recipes, mango salsa chicken bowls. Then you got quinoa salad with roasted vegetables. Then you do have Greek yogurt parfait. And take a look at this. So it's amazing, right? Now, keeping in mind that this might require editing at the beginning only. So once you are able to take a look at this, it's perfectly fine. You're able to utilize it. Maybe it needs adjustment with the font or the template. Feel free to tinker with this. Now you're more than ready to actually go about the steps and the strategies. Then once you are done fixing the initial template, obviously you're going to generate this again to get your finalized output. And once you're done, you click share, you post it to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, and you are done. So this lecture serves multiple purposes where you know how to go about creating shorts for various platforms, and one of them is Reels for the Instagram. Welcome back to one of the most important lectures within the current course, which revolves around creating diversity and different options within your output, in which we are going to learn how could we take the content bulk creation process to a whole new level. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you through the creation of an Instagram post. So let's say I'm going to create an Instagram post. We have seen how we could populate the text and go about the variation parts for the textual elements. Let's say I'm going to use this template and I do have a motivational following, and I do have a motivational profile that I would like to share some motivational content with my audience, right? So this template will do, for example, and I'm going to be removing the names of the individuals. Then I'll be using this as a reference. Let me use a different template with bigger fonts. Here you go. This one is better. Daily reminder, many profiles, they have the same themes, so you might be able to relate easily to that. Now I'm going to change the fonts a bit to make it more visually appealing. Let's put in different branding. Here we go. Then we are going to add some visuals. I'm walking you through some basic edits on Canva to help you understand how I would go about the process as a content creator, just like you. Let me change these visuals at the back, maybe put some different colors to it. Here we go. This one, turn it to white. Okay, seems acceptable. This is daily reminder. However, we have learned that I could just tinker with the text. Let me show you how. So I've created daily reminders, 10 of them, for an Instagram post, as we have learned so far, to save you some time. Now I'm going to go to the bulk create option. Here you go, bulk create, as we have learned, and I'm going to remove this column, populate it over here, and then connect this to this as we have learned. And that's mainly it. And I'm able to populate this with different outputs, right? What if I told you we have a way to actually change the actual background, but this only works for static posts, like image-based posts, and you could modify even further by tinkering with the animations. So what am I talking about? Let's see. So walk through the steps with me. So what we're going to do is you will click over here, you open the menu, then you go to home, then you are going to click over here and simply scroll down As you scroll down, you need to look for the display which says project. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Or type it over here. Projects. Now, these are ready-made templates. So we will click on the three dots. This is the starting page. Okay. And then we'll click on projects. Then add new folder, test images, continue. So we have created a folder, right? It's an empty folder. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my project, which I have been working on. So you go to the home page, projects, you go back to your work. On the home page, you will create the folder in the projects. What is the point of this? Let's see. So I'm going to search for inspirational photos. So I found some inspirational photos that I could use, some images, for example. Let's look over here. Here we go. Yes. This one, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click Add to Folder. Test images. It's like collecting photos from Canva to add them to a certain folder to meet my own purposes. Add to folder. Test images. Okay. Add to folder. Test images. So I'm collecting different photos that seem quite in line with my brand, with my project. Add to folder, test images, and here you go. So what is the point of this? Let's see. Now I'll go back to the design, and then I'm going to say bulk create. We need to go to the apps, right? Bulk create. Here we go. Now I've entered a piece of the information, one piece, right? Which is basically the first text, but I did not generate anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to input the text that I've gotten from ChatGPT again, and I'm going to delete this column over here, and I'm going to say, click on this add image. Now, instead of adding text, I'm going to connect this to an image, okay? So I'm going to add all of these images from my folder, test images. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. We've used this. Let's go for a different one. How about this? We've used this. Okay, here we go. So that's enough for now. You can do the same thing for all of them. You click done, but here's the part that you need to keep in mind. So I'm going to click on elements, frame. Let me see where I got this from. Frame. Here you go. The first frame that pops. Move it. Put it at the corners. Scale it. Then push it backwards. Here we go. Keep clicking till it goes backwards. Do some necessary visual edits to maintain the visuals of the post. And now to the fun part. Now we need to link this post such that these elements are changing the name and the background. So how do I do this? Right click over here, or click on the text, but we need to open the bulk create first. Here we go. Yes. Connect data to the first one, which is the text. Connect data, the text. The second part, click on the image itself at the back. Right click, connect data, image. So now this part has been connected to this part, and this part has been connected to this part, as we have seen from the tables that we have created, right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click generate, and let's see the output. And voila, here we go. So you do have now unique posts, everyone that looks quite different than the other, text-wise, background-wise. So it's a matter of actually taking that content right now and just simply mass producing it at scale. This way, we are able to actually modify the textual content. We're able to modify the visual aspects of the back, maintaining the same branding. This is very powerful. And some accounts, some niches are going to be benefiting from this way more compared to others, especially cooking channels, motivational, inspirational tips, daily tips. All of these are very, very important aspects from this current course that you could use to help you take your content creation game and apply it and take it to a whole new level. So let's recap the steps. So what we have done at the beginning, like we have mentioned, we created just simply a random post, right? It's any regular post. Then once we created that post, let's go from the beginning for you to be able to get it. So we have created this post from scratch, right? Nothing fancy. Then we added the images into a folder from the main folder window, projects, add new. Then you create a folder. Then once you upload the images into your folder, from where? From the same window over here. You go back and you create images, you right click like we have mentioned, and you add them to folder. And then you start modifying your main template by connecting the elements that you have gotten from ChatGPT to the bulk create, right? Now I open the bulk create over here for you to see it. Now at the bulk create part, you enter the data manually. You paste the elements you have gotten from ChatGPT, and then you connect them to the images that you have saved in your folders. And once you're done, you click continue and you click generate and you are set. But keeping in mind why I didn't get them over here, because of one of the most important steps, which is linking. You need to make sure that your data has been linked. We have seen this on multiple occasions. Many individuals, they forget to connect their data. Once you can see the tick mark over here, it means both of them are connected to each other. Okay, so now you're able to actually apply this to your own specific purposes, your own projects, your own applications. And I truly hope you found it quite helpful and you have learned something from it. And this concludes it for this current lesson.
So, what do you think? We found it helpful? Hopefully you did. So make sure that you stay tuned for the upcoming releases. We'll be adding some more segments to the current course to help you apply and get inspired. How could you apply this to various cases, to various platforms, to help you draw some inspiration for your own special, unique situation? Make sure that you follow my profile for the latest course releases and updates, and stay tuned. And I truly hope that you found it helpful. I'm looking forward to receive your feedback. I'll see you in the next course.